Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our panel. In this video, we would like to present our research topic, which is the domestic tourist awareness towards Sharia compliance hotel in Selangor. For your information, our supervisor name is Dr. Nur Asmalina binti Muhammad Anwar. Before we start, let me introduce myself and my team members. First, my name is Humaira Fatihah binti Sapawi. The second one is Khairul Musfira binti Abdul Karim. The third one, Muhammad Al-Amin. And the last one is Nur Aina Madiha binti Muhammad Rakib.
Assalamualaikum and hello to all panels. I am Aina. I will start the presentation with the introduction of the domestic tourist awareness towards Sharia-compliant hotel in Selangor. Domestic tourism is described as the citizens of a country that travels in the monetary territory of that country. Even though Malaysia has sought to come to be the sector's main tourist destination for Islamic tourism, the awareness of Sharia-compliant hotel may be very low. The idea of a Sharia-compliant hotel needs to be promoted not only to the Muslim market but also the non-Muslim. People within the hospitality industry only recognize the idea and practices through what's visible to them. Compliant hotels are not only restricted to serving halal meals and drinks. Sharia-compliant hotels are guided through Islamic law, the precepts of which can be based upon the Quran, the Sunnah, and Fiqh. There are precise criteria for the hotel sector to comply with the intention to qualify for a Sharia-compliant hotels, such as halal food, Qibla direction, prayer mat, copy of Quran, spread facilities of male and female, art not depicting human forms, no nightclub, conservative TV channels, staff predominantly Muslim, no alcoholic drinks, and prayer facilities is available. Compliant hotels are not only restricted to serving halal meals and drinks. Sharia-compliant hotels are guided through Islamic law, the precepts of which can be based upon the Quran, the Sunnah, and Fiqh. There are precise criteria for the hotel sector to comply with the intention to qualify for a Sharia-compliant hotels, such as halal food, Qibla direction, prayer mat, copy of Quran, spread facilities of male and female, art not depicting human forms, no nightclub, conservative TV channels, staff predominantly Muslim, no alcoholic drinks, and prayer facilities is available.
Our objective research, they have two objectives. The first one is to examine the domestic tourist awareness on Sharia compliance hotel in Selangor. And the second one is to investigate the relationship between tourist awareness and their acceptance level toward implementation of Sharia compliance.
Okay, move to the next part is literature review. First is Sharia compliant concept. Sharia refer to the set of divine rules and regulations according to the human lives and its interaction with all creatures in this world. Thus, a Sharia-compliant hotel can be defined as a hotel that provides services in accordance with the Sharia principle, where it's not limited of serving halal food beverage, but more than it ensure the entire operation throughout the hotel will also operate in accordance with the Sharia principle. In that case, many people were not aware of the Sharia compliance hotel in Malaysia. Most of them did not understand the concept of Sharia compliance and what services they provided. Domestic tourism is the act of traveling for business or leisure within one home country. And also, according to the UNWTO, a person must be away from their usual place of residence but still in their home country for at least one night to qualify as a domestic tourist. Second is Sharia-compliant practices. A Sharia-compliant hotel not only serves halal food, halal beverage, facility and financial system, but also include the entire hotel operation, which must be in line with Sharia principle. Sharia-compliant hotels are not only about serving non-halal food or alcohol, but the hotel also provide the holy book of the Quran, and bed and the toilet are also positioned so not to face the Qibla. Furthermore, the hotelier should provide prayer rooms in their premises or hotel, which is considered one of the most crucial facilities for Muslims, and having a mosque within the proximity of the hotel locations may influence the Muslim tourist preferences when making hotel reservation. Sharia-compliant hotels do not allow inappropriate entertainment within their hotel, and then the Muslim staff should follow a proper Islamic code of dressings. In addition, all facilities in the hotel should be gender separated, such as a recreational facility, swimming pool, spa, gyms, and others.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name Muhammad Al-Ain bin Fauzi, and I'm going to continue this presentation with methodology. To create a fair and accurate knowledge and representation of the awareness of Sharia-compliant hotel in Selangor, this study used a quantitative research approach in which respondents were given questionnaire based on a simple random sampling method. In this study, a quantitative method was used to collect the data. It is because the quantitative data is more constant, exact, and reliable. A correlation study was undertaken to establish results of hypothesis testing was applied in the research design. This hypothesis test specifically examined whether or not two variables in population are related. Correlation research examines connection between variables without requiring us to modify the variables themselves. Furthermore, it has a limited degree of control since the researcher cannot change extraneous factors. Correlation research allows researchers to acquire significantly more data than experiments. Furthermore, considering correlational research is commonly undertaken outside of the laboratory, the findings appear to be more relevant to ordinary life. Finally, because the data was collected throughout the given period, a cross-sectional study was carried out. The second point is questionnaire design. We developed the instrument based on a study of the literature by Nur Hidayah Cik Ahmad, Ahmad Hidayat Ahmad Rizwan, Nurinadin, Nurliza Zainal, and Muhammad Azli. A self-administrated questionnaire was used to gather data for this investigation. The questionnaire is divided into three sections. Section A is about the demographic profile of Malaysians. Section B is about Malaysian knowledge of Sharia-compliant hotels. And finally, Section C is concerned with operational awareness, interior design, and financial consideration. The survey was created in two languages to help respondents comprehend the question, English and Bahasa Melayu. As a result, two copies of questionnaires, English and Bahasa, were employed, with the original form being translated into Bahasa by a language specialist. Any grammatical or language comprehension errors were corrected in both language versions. For each component in this investigation, multi-measurement items were employed. We used a 5-point Likert scale with a range of strongly disagree for 1 to strongly agree for 5 for this investigation. The Likert scale is a 5-point scale that allows people to indicate their level of agreement or disagreement with a particular statement. For the last point is sampling procedure. The sampling method we utilize in our study is random. We choose respondents who live in the Selangor area. Domestic or local visitors from Malaysia, including Malays, Chinese, Indian, and other communities, were chosen as the unit of analysis because we wish to assess local knowledge of Sharia-compliant hotel. The questions are disseminated to respondents through the Google Form online platform. The strategy allowed us to broaden the demographics of respondents in Selangor while also making the data collection simple. And that's all from me, and I'll pass the presentation to other presenter. Thank you.
Moving on to the next part, which is the finding. First, for demographic analysis, majority of the respondents involved in this study were female, 85.1%, and respondents were aged between 22 to 30 years old. Most of them are single, 90.9%, and the occupation respondent mostly they are still students, 83.4%, and the other respondent working as an executive, professional, and so on. Last is 69.7% of the respondents had never experienced staying at the Sharia-compliant hotel. This shows that Sharia-compliant hotels are still a new thing in tourism industry and lack of exposure to customer, or perhaps they cannot distinguish between conventional hotel and Sharia-compliant hotel. Next is reliability analysis. This analysis evaluates the efficiency the data of the variable that was tested in the questionnaires. We get to know the reliability based on the Croba Alpha. According to Sekaran and Bogi 2013, Croba Alpha focus on how well the items are associated with one another. The closer the Croba Alpha value to 1, the variable has a high internal consistency of reliability. So based on the table, the reliability analysis for Sharia compliance concept and Sharia compliance practice, they both have seven questions or items and recorded a very good internal consistency with customer awareness towards Sharia compliance with the score of alpha 0.888 and 0.890 respectively. The respondent knows the concept of Sharia compliance exists in Malaysia. They are finding about the Sharia matters through reading such as media social, website, advertisement, and many more. Besides, they are aware of the concept of Sharia compliance through their friends who had experience staying at hotel compliance before. For the practices of Sharia compliance, the respondents are conscious of practice that hotel Sharia apply, like not providing alcohol, only serving halal food, and separate male and female wellness facility. Next, the variable customer acceptance score the value alpha 0.782, which show good internal consistency of the reliability and indicates that most customers highly accept the implementation of Sharia compliance hotel. The respondent believe that hotel Sharia will give a good impact to society and also for non-Muslim to experience the practice of hotel Sharia compliance. So we go to correlation analysis. This analysis conducted to test the relationship between domestic tourist awareness with their acceptance in implementation Sharia compliance concept. So the first figure show how we interpret the value of R. So as you can see at the table, show that the relationship, and it was found that there is a weak negative linear relationship between customer awareness regarding the concept of customer acceptance, which is R value negative 0.349. In other words, the lower customer are aware of the concepts, the lower customer accept Sharia compliance. Moreover, the result also show that there is a weak relationship between customer awareness with regard to the practice to customer acceptance, which is our value is negative 0.352. The relationship between this variable is weak, so the lower customer awareness of the practice, the lower they will accept the implementation of Sharia compliance. Lastly, in average relationship between customer awareness of the concept and practice Sharia compliance toward acceptance of customer, the value R is negative 0.411. There's weak negative linear. Thus, a lower measure of awareness connect to lower acceptance of customers. So last analysis is standard multiple regression. This analysis conducted to investigate the most influential factor influencing the awareness of customers. So from the table show, the most influential customer awareness is the concept of the Sharia compliance. This is because, as you can see, the value at the standardized coefficient of the Sharia compliance concept is higher than the practice of the Sharia compliance. Then the awareness of the concept of the Sharia compliance has a stronger influence compared to the practice of the Sharia compliance hotel.
Domestic tourists are aware that the Sharia-compliant concept exists in Malaysia, even though most domestic tourists have never experienced staying in a Sharia-compliant hotel. They had learned the concept through reading on social media, websites, advertisements, and others. They also gain knowledge from relatives or friends that have stayed in a Sharia-compliant hotel before. They are also aware of practices that have been applied in Sharia-compliant hotels, such as alcohol is not allowed in premises, only halal food is served, and male and female wellness facilities are separated, such as swimming pool, gyms, and spa.
Okay, the last one is a conclusions. This study aimed to know the awareness of domestic tourists toward Sharia compliance hotel in Selangor. The findings show that most of domestic tourists are aware of the Sharia compliance concept even though they did not experience Sharia compliant hotel. Furthermore, this study could simulate that domestic tourists that has experienced Sharia compliant hotel are aware of the Sharia compliant practices. Moreover, this study can also be conducted for international tourists that has experience in Sharia compliant hotel in Selangor. From the study, the researcher can observe and compare Sharia compliant hotel in Selangor by identifying the relationships between domestic tourist awareness of Sharia compliance concept and practices. That's all. Thank you.